part 4 of the reading. So there's actually something very interesting happening with you in the present moment. And honestly, this is one of those situations where, as much as we would say, okay, you need to soften up a little bit, that is actually true. But in this very moment, what needs to happen is you need to process what it is that you're experiencing in your mind. Okay. And so maybe for you in this moment, or for a little bit of time, it's about resting and really truly understanding yourself, your patterns, and why you're responding to something in your life this particular way. So I'm getting that, once again, you are sitting kind of at the threshold of maybe something shifting in your field here, but it feels as though you're avoiding it. You're trying to shut it out. You're resisting. Okay. And I think that it's because whatever this is quite different than something you've already experienced before. And because it looks different, it feels different, it registers to you as unsafe. Spirit has been encouraging you to soften up and be receptive. And maybe you entered into that energy temporarily and you reverted to an even more avoidant energy, because once again, it's a fear. It's a fear because of things that you've been through in your past. But what Spirit is saying here is that you're really not able to see the full picture of whatever this is, because your energy is very much, it's spiraling, like more mental than anything. I'm not getting really anything else other than like lots of mental over processing here. Okay. And so this could be making you feel stuck. Whenever it's like your soul is competing with your heart, is competing with your mind, you tend to go in loops and you tend to spiral, and that can really make you feel stuck. 8 of Swords energy here. But I'm also getting like you kind of pulling that energy back from people. Maybe there's a particular person. It's actually a really good thing, because you need to be contained in this space before you do anything else. Not for perfection, not so you can have every single duck in a row before you do the next thing, but because if you start to make decisions from where you are, the results and outcomes of those decisions are going to reflect to where you are. Okay. So let's see what advice Spirit has for you. So Spirit, what advice do you have for the collective right now? The 9 of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords. The Queen of Swords. So this is the thing here. Spirit is like, this is something that can be very difficult to achieve. But Spirit is saying you have to ground yourself in what you know to be true. Okay. That's the first thing. You have to ground yourself in what you know to be true. You need to really actually validate yourself, right? Let me pause real quick. So there's something here about you really grounding yourself in your truth. Some of you have a truth that you know that has been reinforced to you or affirmed or validated for quite some time, whether that's through spirit or different things in your life. There's a truth here. And I feel like what's happening is you need to ground yourself in whatever that is, however it feels, because this is the thing too. There's so much sword energy and there's so much internal processing going on. If there is a truth that is kind of staring you in the face and you really aren't admitting it to yourself, 333 on the clock right now, you're not admitting it to yourself. You have to start there first. Whatever that is for you, whatever it is that you need to admit to yourself, that you need to allow to settle into your spirit, you need to start there, right? And then from there, this is where you're not ashamed or fearful to actually admit to whatever that truth is or express whatever that truth is in whatever context that matters. Now, this is the thing. This is where the Queen of Swords comes in, because this is about you being able to hold that truth while also still being discerning. Sometimes we attach outcomes and we over assign meaning to certain truths, like a truth, and you have to go do something about it. Not necessarily. Sometimes it's about admitting and acknowledging the truth for the sake of doing that only, right? And then letting things play out the way they're supposed to play out. So again, it's going to depend on your circumstances. If you're not in a position where, something needs to be acted on or can be acted on, it's not about acting on it. It's about simply acknowledging whatever it is. So for some of you, the blockage that you have right now is internal. And I feel like you know what it is, but some of you may be like not wanting to accept that or admit that, and that's total, it's understandable, but it's going to be kind of required for you to kind of get out of this loop here. Okay. So if it's like, I'm scared, I'm scared of intimacy, I'm scared of, letting someone in, like whatever that is, it's about acknowledging that truth with yourself first. And then the next thing is, I can't tell you exactly how to handle your situations because all of your situations are so different. There's so much nuance around them. And so this is where your discernment has to lock in about, okay, now that I have this truth here, now that I have admitted this, here's what I do about it. Or here's how you approach it. So that's something that, you got to kind of sit with and process. Okay. So that's what I have for y'all today. I'm not sure at this point if there will be a new collective reading today, but by the time I post this, if there is, it will be in the caption. Okay. So y'all let me know if this resonates in the comments, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.